नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल. We'll go to prayers. Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. नस्तप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचलं पङ्गुं लङ्घयितगिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen soul. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Om apavitro pavitro va sarvastam gatopi va yasmare pundarikaksham sah bhahyavayanta suchi om. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna. Madhu Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. So, start with our slides.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Hare Krishna. Okay, so we are at the Canto 8, Chapter 5, Mataji. Today we are going to start with Chapter 5. So before we go to the Chapter 5, I want to have a quick recap of the 4 chapters in this Canto 8. What we learned, so we can understand actually how the flow is. So yesterday Lilananda Prabhu was also talking about Gajendra Moksha. So that is covered under Chapter 4. So to the Chapter 1, so we have understood the Manus, the administrators of the universe, right? And also King Parishit Maharaj was inquiring about the different Manus, how the different Manus were actually governing the complete cosmic cycle. So Sukadeva Goswami have explained in this chapter almost about the 6 Manus and their dynasties. So how under each Manu there was like set of Devatas, how Saptarshis were there and who was the Indra. Like this, the explanation goes on for with the complete first chapter. So if we remember, we try to recollect. The first Manu was Swayambhu Manu, right? The first Manu. Second Manu was Swarochisa Manu. Third one was Uttama Manu. Fourth one was Tamasa Manu. So Gajendra Moksha happened actually during the reign of Tamasa Manu. So now we go to the 5th chapter. But yesterday, Lilananda Prabhu was also explaining about Gajendra's past life. If you remember, so why actually Gajendra Moksha thing happened? Gajendra in his past life, he was a king called Indrajumna, right? Indrajumna, he was actually a big follower of Lord Vishnu. He was ardent follower of Lord Vishnu. And Indrajumna, what happened actually? He left his kingdom. He went into a type of a forest, and he went into deep meditation. He was absorbed in deep meditation, and he was completely in devotion. And what happened? Sage Agastya Muni, he came. He came and and what happened actually? Since Indrajumna Maharaj was completely in deep meditation, he did not notice the arrival of Sage Agastya. Then what happened? Agastya Muni, obviously, he took it as an insult. So what Lilananda Prabhu has explained yesterday, so sometimes blessings come in the form of a disguise. So, though he was actually cursed by Agastya Muni, he happened to be born as a Gajendra in his next life and he got mukti. What type of mukti he has got, anyone knows? Gajendra, after he was actually relieved from the crocodile, so what type of mukti he got? So he got Sarupya Mukti. Sarupya Mukti means he looks more or less equivalent to like a Vishnu, na, with 4 hands. So whoever gets Sarupya Mukti, Rupya means he gets the same Rupam, same features as like Lord Vishnu. And now what happened to the crocodile? What happened to the crocodile? So crocodile was actually killed by Lord Vishnu, right? So what happened to it? It actually in the past life the crocodile was a Gandharva named Huhu. Okay. So this Huhu, Gandharva, he was again born as a Gandharva only. Okay. So in fact, this is actually a big blessing. If sometimes we get cursed or we get actually blamed by because of the situations, but sometimes such type of situations also will lead us to a bigger elevation. So that's what we have seen so far up to chapter 4. So we will go to the chapter 5 today. So today the chapter 5 is the demigods appeal to the Lord for protection. So I try to get some image from internet. So where we see here, all the demigods are actually praying for Lord Vishnu. You see Lakshmi also sitting aside Vishnu, and then everyone is praying. They are appealing. We will try to understand what actually they are trying to appeal to Lord Vishnu. Why they have to appeal? So here this chapter talks about two Manus. So since we have covered up to 4 Manus so far, so this chapter is going to touch about the 5th Manu and the 6th Manu. And this chapter is also going to talk about the prayers of demigods. This chapter is also going to talk about the curse of the Durvasa Muni. Right? So up to previous chapter 4, everything happened in the Tamasa Manu during time. And this chapter is going to talk about Raivata Manu. So Sukadeva Goswami is going to introduce to Raivata Mani to Parikshit Maharaj. And also 6th Manu, he is called Chakshusha Manu. And we will also see the Ajita, the incarnation of God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, in fact, assists actually in the churning of the ocean of the milk. So what does he do and how does he do? He is born, he is actually turned into a tortoise to hold that Mandar Parvat. So that also we will touch in this chapter. Though it is not mentioned, just for information, I'm just giving, the 7th Manu is the current Manu. Okay, total we have 14 Manvantaras. And each Manvantara lasts for almost like 71 Mahayugas as per the scriptures. And one full day of Brahma consists of 1000 Mahayugas. So we can understand 1000 Mahayugas divided by 71 gives close to 14.08 Manvantaras. That means 14 Manvantaras. Okay. That means one full day of Brahma is 1000 Mahayugas. That we can understand. Any questions, Professor Mataji is here? Clear so far? Okay, so let's go into the chapter in shlokas. Okay, the chapter 5, the demigods, troubled by the increasing strength of the asuras, approach Lord Vishnu for guidance. He instructs them on how to regain their lost power, setting the stage for the churning of the ocean of the milk. So this is like a summary of the complete chapter. So we have to understand that demigods are troubled by the increasing strength of the asuras. So what made the demigods powerless? That we will see. And what made them approach Lord Vishnu for guidance? And how Lord Vishnu has instructed them how to regain their lost power. And that has actually set the stage for the churning of the ocean. Sagar Madhanam. Manda telusinde kada? So that how it has started, we will see in this chapter. Okay. So the first sloka I will read. Sri Sukha Uvacha Rajanuditam etatte hare karmaganasanam gajendra punyam raivatam tva antaram shruno. The purport and translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O king, I have described to you the pastime of the Gajendra Mokshana, which is most pious to hear. By hearing such activities of the Lord, one can be freed from all sinful reactions. Now please listen, I describe Raivata Manu. So here there are quite a few words which are actually very striking and very, very important. So Sukadeva Goswami is emphasizing that hearing about Gajendra Moksha is spiritually uplifting. Right? That's the first sentence that what we see. So why is hearing Gajendra Moksha is spiritually uplifting? Because the Lord's activities are transcendental and frees one from the material misfortunes. So if we keep hearing the Lord's pastimes, then it will help us to get freed from the material bondings, right? So the type of praise Gajendra did give us is a clear hint how to please Krishna. So in fact, if you want to please Krishna, do we need to reinvent again new prayers? In fact, Shastra says we don't need to reinvent again new prayers. We don't need to write so many new prayers to please Krishna, because Gajendra prayers are already an established fact, right? Established evidence we have that by calling or using these prayers, we can in fact call Krishna. So this is in fact an established evidence. So we don't need to create new prayers. In fact, there are so many such prayers like this, which are established facts for us. For example, Kunti prayers, which are also quite popular, that for sure Krishna will be pleased and he will definitely take care of us. And also any other examples you remember? The prayers of Brahma, the prayers of, the Rishi Patnis. So like this, there are some established prayers. If we just repeat the same prayers, it is enough to please Krishna. That's what yesterday His Grace Lilananda Prabhu has also did with all of us, that we re-recited actually all the Gajendra prayers. By doing thus, so we are very, very sure that Krishna will be pleased and he will definitely look on us. Right? And also, if we understand the core Bhagavatam teaching, what does it say? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So, in fact, in the 7th canto, in the chapter 5, shloka 23 to 24, there is actually, what Prahlad Maharaj says. I made a note of it. Sri Prahlad Vacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Kriyeta Bhagavati Ardha Tanmanyane Aditam Uttamam. So Prahlad Maharaj says very clearly, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia and pastimes of the Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering praise to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord as one's best friend, Sakya, and surrendering everything unto him. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional services. And one has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Right? So it was clearly mentioned that if we are actually hearing to the transcendental forms of Vishnu or Krishna, that is sufficient. And if you are able to follow these 9 processes of bhakti, which are established and approved by the Shastras, then that is a complete knowledge. So this gives a clear hint, Prabhupada Mataji, that when we are actually reciting the prayers or when we are reading Bhagavatam, we are able to get that complete knowledge. We are learning the complete knowledge. And now the power of devotional hearing, Gajendra Moksha clearly illustrates how sincere if we surrender, that attracts the Lord mercy. So this is what we can derive out of this small 3-line translation. Gajendra Moksha is actually it's a very, very powerful service. Some people, especially in our childhood, what we might have thought, what is the big deal in it? Okay, Gajendra did the prayer and Vishnu came on Garuda and he killed the crocodile. That's it. But the prayers, what Gajendra did, and if you know the past of Gajendra, that Indrajumna, and how he was cursed to become an elephant with a dumb brain. And in fact, of all these things, he could still remember the prayers from the past life. How did Gajendra could get the prayer? And who gave that mercy to remember the prayers? It was obviously Krishna. So he remembered the prayers and he recited the prayers. Otherwise, how Gajendra gets all this power to recite again all the prayers, right? So this works basically marks a shift from the previous narration about Gajendra's deliverance to the story of Raivata Manu. If you see, now slowly Sukadeva Goswami, what he is doing, is trying to shift us to the next Manu called as the Raivata Manu. So who are Manus basically? Manus are the universal administrators who govern actually different time cycles. That means different Manvantaras. So Sukadeva Goswami invited Parikshit Maharaj to hear about the next divine episode. All right. Any questions here, Professor Mataji? Okay, good. I will go to the next slide then. It's actually very small chapter. It's not, there is not much philosophy also to explain here. Okay, second one, Santosh Aditya Prabhu, can you please help me to read this? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, what are you saying?
Can you please help me to read the shloka, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is my voice not audible, Mataji?
It is audible, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Sorry, I was like little distracted. Yeah. 8.5.2. Panchamoraivatu nama manustamasa sodara balivindhyadayastasya sutaharjuna purvaka. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The brother of Tamas Manu was the fifth Manu, named Raivata. His sons were headed by Arjuna, Bali, and Vindhya. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, the brothers of Tamasa Manu. Now, Tamasa Manu is the fifth Manu. Sorry, the Tamasa Manu is the fourth Manu, and the brother of Tamasa Manu is the fifth Manu, who is called as the Raivata. And he has sons headed by Arjuna, Bali, and Vindhya. So, this verse actually continues the discussion on the governance of the universe by different Manus, right? So far we have seen four Manus. Now, Sukadeva Goswami is continuing the fifth Manu. Now, the Lord appoints Manus to oversee cosmic affairs, ensuring the order and the dharma. Just like how we have this prime minister, and every state has a chief minister. So, similarly, Manu also has his own governance team. So, as I explained, I will show also in one of the slides later. Each Manu has 7 Saptarshis, one Indra, okay, and a set of Devatas. So, this set of Devatas, the number vary from each Manu to Manu. Okay, we will see in one of the slides for how each Manu has a different team. Now, the role of Raivata Manu here is described as one of the Manus whose reign was marked by divine interventions and the establishments of righteousness. So, every Manu is responsible to establish the righteousness in the complete universe, right? That is the responsibility. And how they were able to do? The Saptashis were actually spreading the Vedic knowledge to everyone, and it was the responsibility of the Indra to take care of, all the cosmic affairs. So that is how they were able to. So Indra is the head of all the devatas, right? Each devata has a role, and that is how the complete Vedic wisdom was spread and taken care with the team. Now the Lord's guidance to the demigods. So what happened actually, we will see in the chapter. The demigods were troubled by the increasing strength of the asuras. We have seen, right, at the starting of the chapter. To end, they started seeking the Lord Vishnu's protection. And then what happened eventually? The Lord, the Supreme Lord, has come up with a plan, with a very strategic guidance. What did he do? He sets the stage for the churning of the ocean of the milk. So we all know what happened during the churning of the ocean milk. Okay, that will come in the later slokas. Let's go further. So Srila Prabhupada also, he says, how Krishna nicely supports both the demigods and the asuras based on their actions and devotion. So we should understand Supreme Lord is not just by us. Oh, Devatas, okay, these are my people, so I will support. Okay, the asuras, so these are not my people, so I don't support. If you see how he has treated actually Bali Maharaj, right? So similarly, if someone is devotional, it doesn't matter Asura or Devata. If someone is devotional, Krishna has always taken care of that person, right? And similarly, if you understand all the slokas, they're stressing so much on the manus. So we also understand what is the crucial role each manu is playing to maintain the cosmic balance and also to establish dharma. And also here we clearly see it is important to understand the surrendering. We see, we will come in the next slokas. The demigods, when they appeal to the Lord, they will accept that, see, we are fallen. They accept that we are fallen. Please help, Krishna, please help. And after they surrender, then they put a request. They put a request that, please help us. That is what is a surrendering. When we submit ourselves purely to the Krishna, Krishna will automatically take care. So submitting to the divine shelter is always important because it will remove us from the state of distress, right? We'll go to the next shloka. Anyone else who want to read Prabhuji Mataji's?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please. Santosh Prabhuji.
Can I read a sloka also?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Vibhur Indra Suragana Rajan Bhutaranyataya Hiranyaroma Vedasira Urdhava Hadyo Vijaha. O king, in the millennium of Raivatamanu, the king of heaven was known as Vibhu. Among the demigods were the Bhutarayas, and among the seven Brahmanas who occupied the seven planets were Hiranyaroma, Vedasira, and Urdhava.
Wow. Uddhava. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So again, see, if we carefully observe, Sukadev Goswami is going in details of each Manu's, how he is actually established, what is his team. So why is he stressing so much on the team? Because it is very, very important to understand this team's responsibilities of establishing dharma in the complete cosmos, right? So this verse describes the rulers and sages during the reign of Raivata Manu. Now the king of the heaven, Indra, at that time, who is that? Vibhu. So we all remember and we understand that Indra is not a person, but Indra is a position, right? That is at least clear. So each Manu rule, there is a separate person who is actually occupying the throne of Indra. And during the Raivata Manu time, it was Vibhu who has occupied the throne of Indra. And the demigod Suragana. Suragana means Surulu means Devata. Suragana means the group. Suragana is the group, and that include Bhutaryas. So they are also called as Bhutaryas. And the seven sages, the Saptarshis. So during the Raivatamanu, who are they Saptarshis? They are called as Dvijaha, right? Uddhava Bhava Adayo Dvijaha. So Dvijaya they are called. And the seven Saptarshis in during the reign of Raivatamanu, they are called Hiranyorama, Vedashiras, Uddhava Bahu, Vedabahu, Sudhama, Parjanya, and Mahadeva. These are the seven Saptarshis who are actually, taking care during the reign of Raivatamanu. Now here, again, it is this shloka is stressing the importance of the divine governance. So if we see why it is required to have Saptarshis, why it is not just sufficient to have Indra and then, under the instruction of Indra, there are set of devatas taking each person taking care of, one role. Like we have Varuna Dev, we have Vayu Dev. Like this, we can have different devatas who are under the reign of, Indra. That is sufficient, right? But why these Saptarshis are also important? So it was actually stressing the importance of the divine governance. Saptarshis were necessary to spread the Vedic knowledge, to spread the Vedic, the importance and describe the pastimes of the Lord. This way, they make sure that even devatas are not getting fallen down. Because even devatas can succumb to this, these modes of material nature. Yes, they are also not really, elevated to that level where they can go to Goloka or Vrindavan. So, these Saptarshis were taking care to make sure that there is divine governance in the complete cosmos, right? And if we see, now we are talking about Raivata Manu. In the following shloka, we also see the Chakshusha Manu, he is called as sixth Manu. And the Devas at that time, they were called Mantra Varunas. And the Indra was called as Mantra Druma. The Saptarshis here included. Okay, that we will see in the next shloka anyway. Okay, this is 8.5.4. Maybe I will read. Patni Vikunta Subrasya Vaikunte Sura Sattamaha Tayo Swakalaya Jajne Vaikunto Bhagavan Swayam. From the combination of Subra and his wife, Vikunta, there appeared the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaikunta, along with the demigods who were his personal plenary expansions. Yes. So now we have to understand during every rule of Manu, so Krishna has appeared. Krishna has appeared in different ways. And now we see here Krishna in the combination of Subra and his wife. Vikunta, there appeared the Supreme Personal Godhead who is called Vaikunta, along with the demigods who were personal plenary expansions. So Vaikunta himself, so Krishna appeared in the form of Vaikunta, right? So this verse is describing the divine manifestation of Lord Vaikunta, who appeared from Subhra and Vikunta. Now the Lord was accompanied also with the different demigods who were his plenary expansions. So plenary expansions means they are actually also the type of energy from the Krishna. They are not none different from Krishna. So in fact, the demigods who were actually formed during this Manu were also Swayam Krishna only, right? And this signifies his transcendental presence. Everywhere Krishna is there, he is omnipresent. Now, what is the significance of Vaikunta? Who doesn't know about Vaikunta here? Everyone knows, right? So, what is the Vaikunta? Vaikunta is a spiritual realm where there is no modes of material nature work. There is no anxiety, there is no suffering. So, Vaikunta, we all are aiming to go to Vaikunta, right? So, the Lord's appearance in this context highlights his role in maintaining cosmic harmony and protecting the demigods, right? Now, about Vaikunta, actually, there are certain commentaries given in the purport. I will just try to recollect them. So, the demigods appeared alongside Lord Vaikunta were not ordinary beings, but direct expansions of his divine energy, right? So, Srila Prabhupada in his commentary, he says that, the Lord's transcendental nature is beyond material limitations and appears in different forms to guide and protect his devotees. And Vaikuntha itself is a spiritual world free from suffering, and those who attain it lives in eternal bliss. The Lord has so much of mercy on all of us that his appearance is always for the benefit of the universe. So why Lord has to come in different forms in every Manu time? Is it only that Lord is coming when there is a problem? So Lord comes whenever he wishes, whenever he wishes. But for sure he made sure that during every Manu's time he has come in different forms. Even in fact, the Devatas are actually the plenary expansions of the Lord himself. Right? Any questions, Prabhuji and Mataji, so far? No philosophy here. This is all very straightforward shlokas. No questions? Then we'll go to the next slide. Okay. So 8.5.5. Anyone else who can help me? Hare Krishna.
I can do, Prabhuji, if nobody's doing.
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Yeah. Vaikunta kalpito yena loko loka namaskrita ramaya prarthyamanena devya tatpriya kamyaya. Just to please the goddess of fortune, the supreme personality of Godhead Vaikuntha, at her request, created another Vaikuntha planet, which is worshipped by everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat. So we have seen that the Vaikuntha planet is created. But why Lord has to create Vaikuntha planet? Now see, actually this shloka gives several questions. Several questions. Now people can ask that is Vaikuntha created? That means this was not existing, from eternal. Is it true that, in during the reign of first four Manus, this Vaikuntha itself was not existing? No, this is actually a lot of confusion. But we try to understand why this planet itself is created. I don't know if Lilananda Prabhu is there. If he is still there, because he want to leave today to his satsang. Is he still there?
He is not there.
He left probably. Yes, he has to go for his satsang. So here there is actually very controversial word which I myself could not understand. Created another Vaikuntha planet. So in the translation, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned another Vaikuntha planet. So this made me to think, is that there is a Vaikuntha planet where the Lord is residing, and also he created another Vaikuntha planet for the devotees. So this is probably my understanding, but I try to, let's see actually what Shastra says.
Prabhuji,
So
it could be that that is the presiding deity of the planet. Like for every, like sun god is the presiding deity of the sun planet.
Sun planet, yes.
Bhumi Devi in Prithu Maharaj's this one was the presiding deity of the earth.
Earth, yes. Yes,
So
Mataji, that
it
can
does
be
not
possible.
mean that both are. So it means that when Lord is there, he can create any number of Vaikuntha planets, and he could be in charge of every Vaikuntha
Correct,
planet.
correct.
Just it's my
Yeah.
guessing.
Our
I'm not sure.
assumption, yes, Mataji. No,
Yeah.
it probably can be right, Mataji, because yesterday when I was reading this, the moment I read this word, another Vaikuntha planet, so I was a little confused. But when I went through the purport, that made me confused more, which I will just explain. Actually, what was happening, during the Manu's time, actually, there are a lot of devotees who are, ardent followers of Lord Vishnu. And the wife of Vishnu, the goddess of fortune, she was called as Rama Devi, right? Rama. So she has requested actually Vishnu that, we need to create a place where these devotees can actually come out of all these, conditioned modes, where they can live very happily for eternal. And with this request actually from Rama, so Krishna, he has created actually another planet called Vaikuntha planet. Now, this Vaikuntha planet, where it is, this is also little, confusing. So obviously what we all know is Vaikuntha planet is actually not in the material cosmos, but it is in the spiritual sky. So this spiritual sky also has a name. It's called as Paravyoma. And here in this Vaikuntha planet, it is free from birth, death, old age, and suffering. So the real problems of life. Huh? So all these four problems we don't have. That once you are there forever. You don't have a repeated birth, you don't have death, you don't have old age, you don't have suffering. So that's the beauty of Vaikuntha planning. So because Rama Devi, she has requested, so Krishna has created this Vaikuntha planet. Now, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakuraji, so what he explains that although this Vaikuntha planet appears to be created, it eternally exists beyond the material universe. As described in the second canto by Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, it seems he has seen the Vaikuntha before the creation of the universe itself. So because when Lord Brahma has come from the navel of Vishnu, right, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then he was the one who created the cosmos. So at that time itself, he has seen the Vaikuntha planet already. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, he explains that though here in this particular Manu time, Raivata Manu time, it appears that a Vaikuntha is created, but actually Vaikuntha itself is existing eternally. So that's what actually Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura has concluded. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam itself is actually compared to Vaikuntha. So we have to understand this sentence very carefully. Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to Vaikuntha. Why? Because both are beyond the material limitations. If you are actually in the material world, but reading Srimad Bhagavatam, then you have no material limitation at all. And this serves as a gateway to spiritual realization. As if like you are in Vaikuntha, right? So what we are doing currently is as if like we are in Vaikuntha. When, if at all we get a chance to go to Vaikuntha, this is what we would be doing. We would be reading and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or we will be reading Bhagavatam. That is what actually the only job that we have to do when we go to Vaikuntha. Now about the location of Vaikuntha, so there were two different approaches or two different philosophies projected. I will just explain. So there is one big devotee called Veera Raghava Acharya. So Veera Raghava Acharya, he is actually Vaishnava scholar from the Ramanuja Sampradaya, okay? So what he said, he mentioned this Vaikuntha is situated above the mountain called Lokaloka. And Lokaloka, where is it? This mountain is actually within the material universe. But obviously, Ramanuja Sampradaya person, Veera Raghava Acharya, if he is telling that this is within the material universe, and our understanding is that actually Vaikuntha is outside the material universe, so it looks like, little contradiction. But what Srila Prabhupada has done, he accepted the Shastras as it is, but he also clearly mentioned that Vaikuntha is a spiritual planet and it is not existing in the material universe. So he did not reject the Shastras that were existing by then, but he simply also highlighted Vaikuntha is not a normal planet in the material universe.
Prabhuji, can I add something here?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, for intervening.
No, please, Mataji. See, this is discussion, right, Mataji? We should all actually put our knowledge together. I'm very happy that
అయితే
you're sharing your wisdom.
we have our Goloka chart kada. అయితే if
Uh-huh.
you see the Goloka chart,
Mm-hmm.
దాంట్లో there is Shweta Dvipa.
Yes.
Shweta Dvipa is within the material universe అన్నమాట.
Mm.
Where Lord అంటే క్షీరోదక్షాయ Vishnu resides there. So అందుకనే whenever these అంటే Brahma and Devatas, they want to when they want to like pray to the Supreme Lord for protection
They go
and
to
come and
Shweta.
take an incarnation, they stand at the edge of Shweta Dvipa. And this is what I heard from Lalit Mohan Prabhu in our morning reading class.
Okay,
So I'm just sharing that. అప్పుడు నిజంగా అది గోలోక చార్ట్ చూస్తే అప్పుడు ఐ కుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఓకే యాక్చువల్లీ శ్వేత ద్వీప ఇస్ విత్ ఇన్ ద మెటీరియల్ యూనివర్స్ అందుకనే దట్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ బట్ వేర్ ఎవర్ లార్డ్ ఇస్ దేర్ దట్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ వైకుంఠ సో అందుకనే సో లోక మౌంటైన్ ఇఫ్ యు సీ ద కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఆల్సో ఇస్ లైక్ భూమండలకి లాస్ట్ లో ఎడ్జ్ దట్ లాస్ట్ లో ఉంటుంది అండ్ ద హైట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ ఆల్సో ఇస్ లైక్ అంటే ఎక్కడి వరకు అంటే స్వర్గ అది దాని పైన దాటేసి అంత హైట్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట సో బియాండ్ దట్ nobody can go or see it's a dark area.
Yes,
So
I think beyond that is a dark area. Up to Loka mountain, it is completely illuminated.
But if you see the height of it is so high that above that, like even if you see the Goloka chart, the Goloka chart మనం ఏదైతే పీడిఎఫ్ చూస్తే దాంట్లో కనబడుతుంది అనమాట ఏంటంటే లోక కొంచెం పైన అక్కడ మీకు శ్వేత ద్వీప విచ్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఆన్ సిమిలర్ ప్లేన్ ఆఫ్ ధ్రువలోక అంటే పక్కనే సైడ్ లో ఇలాగ మీకు కనబడుతుంది అనమాట if you see the or I can share the PDF that I had downloaded in the group.
Sure,
and that can be shown on the screen, but it shows Shweta Dvipa is there. And that is where, so earlier we used to think that Brahma is actually going out of this material universe to pray. That was my understanding earlier. But then it all made sense that actually he is even here, he cannot enter into the spiritual abode and he cannot talk to the Supreme Lord. He has to talk at the edge of this what is that
like
milk ocean. Milk ocean.
Like this one.
Milk ocean and ఈ milk ocean is that శ్వేత ద్వీపాలో ఉంటుందన్నమాట ఇక్కడ even the sesha on which Lord is resting is also white in color అని ఒక చోట description వస్తుంది మరి అది which canto I can't remember, but the description itself is different అన్నమాట of this sesha and the adi sesha అట్లాగా. So
no one can enter. In fact, Vishnu also doesn't show himself directly to Brahma. It is only they talk, like a telepathy. He just instructs and Brahma gets suddenly enlightenment with that understanding, and he shares that knowledge to all the other demigods. Yeah. Okay. We'll go to the next sloka, 8.5.6.
Can I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, please.
तस्यानुभावकातिहो गुणाश्च परमोदया बहुमान् रेणुन् सविमाने यो विष्णोर्वर्णयेद् गुणान्. Although the great activities and the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of the Godheads, various incarnations are wonderfully described. Sometimes we are unable to understand them, yet everything is possible for Lord Vishnu. If one could count the atoms of the universe, then he could count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. But no one can count the atoms of the universe, nor can anyone count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, this verse is emphasizing the Lord's transcendental qualities which are beyond human comprehension. So when I was reading yesterday evening this sentence, beyond human comprehension, then I thought this is especially applicable for me. We have seen in the previous shloka to understand where is Vaikuntha planet, okay, is it really within the material universe or is it's in the spiritual sky? We get a lot of questions. Sometimes we cannot understand. So yesterday I had also a doubt. If you remember, actually during the first Manu time, it was when Hiranyaksha was killed. during the first Manu time, right? That is when actually Hiranyaksha was killed. But then Hiranyakashipu, when he was killed, I mean the Prahlada time, it happened during the Tamasa Manu time. That means it's the fourth Manu. So is it really true that Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, both who are brothers, they were actually living during the four Manus? So how is it possible? I was actually asking myself. So Hiranyakashipu was obviously existing from the first Manu to the fourth Manu. So how is it possible? So this sometimes, the Lord's things are beyond human comprehension. We cannot understand the Leelas. It is so difficult. So here in this verse, it is telling that just like how one cannot count the number of atoms in the universe, it is also impossible to understand the Lord's divine attributes. So Lord is existing everywhere in any form, every form. And Lord's activities are beyond material logic. We cannot actually comprehend with our material logics to tell that, yes, this is why this has happened. No, we cannot understand. So the Lord's pastimes incarnations are described in scriptures, but their depth is unfathomable. We cannot understand the depth. Especially Krishna Leelas. If we try to touch the Leelas, there is no logic at all. The type of Leelas Krishna play. But what is our mind? Our mind is always looking for a logic. Why did Krishna do like this? Why did Jagannath appear or shrink like this? Unless we understand the logic, we are not convinced. But we have to accept and surrender. Yes, this is a Krishna Leela. The moment we surrender and accept to Krishna, everything falls into place. Right? That's what this sloka is highlighting here. So Srila Prabhupada's commentary here also connects this verse to the story of Jaya and Vijaya. Right? If you see again why it is very difficult to understand, Lord's Leelas. Jaya and Vijaya are actually doing their duty at the gatekeepers as the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, right? So they have actually done their duty by stopping the Kumaras, not letting them to go inside. They did their duty, but in spite of that, what happened? They got cursed. They got cursed, and they have to be born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Of course, they were born in different yugas. I mean, different manvantaras in different forms, but they got cursed, right? So why it happened? They are actually doing their duty. So why actually Vishnu or Krishna has punished them? Krishna, I mean, in fact, it is a wish, the Leela says, it is a wish of Lord Vishnu to fight with Jaya and Vijaya. Can we really understand this? Can we try to derive any logic for this? You are actually trying to serve your boss so sincerely to your boss and to your company. And the company comes and say, no, I will evict you out. You are now out of the company. You have to leave the company now. Now, what is the result of it? You serve the company so faithfully, but if you get a result that you have to leave the company, then there is no meaning, there is no logic. Of course, this is applicable to the material world. But for the spiritual transcendental qualities, the transcendental stories of the Lord, we should not attach any logic. We should just accept the scriptures as it is, and we have to get surrendered to them. Now, the Lord's unlimited mercy. So, despite his incomprehensible nature, the Lord makes himself accessible through devotional service. So, yes, we cannot understand the Lord so easily, and Lord is very, very difficult to reach. But what we have to still continue? We have to continue. Our perseverance to serve him should continue. We should continue hearing, we should continue chanting his glories, because that will purify our soul and brings one closer to the spiritual realization. Right? Any questions here, Professor Mataji? Actually, there is something that I can add here, because I talk about Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha. There was actually also, somewhere mentioned that Varaha Swami, did he come 2 times? I don't know if anyone knows. Maybe Deepa Mataji, do you know that Varaha Swami, he appeared 2 times?
I think 2 times
Yes,
he
sir.
appeared. Raktavaraha, Svetavaraha.
Yeah, Svetavaraham and Raktavaram. Actually, in one of my congregations here at Avatar, so Janvi Mataji, she has put this question some months before. Until that point, even I was not aware. I did not finish Bhagavatam complete reading. So,
అంటే ఫస్ట్ క్యాంటోలో ఇది వస్తుంది ప్రభుజీ.
yes,
అప్పుడు దట్ క్లారిఫికేషన్ ఇస్ ప్రొవైడెడ్ ఇన్ దట్ అంటే 2 times వస్తారు అని చెప్పేసి.
yes.
And even in Subodhini, that thing will be there. The description would be there. In actual Bhagavatam, The description is not there.
Uh-huh.
As to how
Subodhini
exactly
is
it is
mentioned.
done. Subodhinilo, it is there. I can
So,
find and I can send you the screenshot.
Mataji, I mean, this is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shvetavaraha is basically, it appeared during the Swayambhu Manvanta, that means during the first Manu. Actually, that time the Varaha has lifted the earth from the cosmic waters, he has put it in place. But there is no Hiranyaksha at that time. And then during the next time when he came as a Rakta Varaha, this incarnation has happened purely to kill the Chakshu, I mean, to kill the Hiranyaksha. This happened during the Chakshusha Manvantara. Can we understand that way? Or is it my understanding wrong?
The description is correct, Prabhuji. Ante, but who came when? Another, I'll need to verify because I can't remember. But
Yeah.
yes, they two came. One was exclusively to bring out Mother
From the
Earth,
cosmos.
and yes, and the second time was
Hare Krishna Mataji. In that same chapter where Varaha comes to bring the earth out, there are two mentioned. Two Varahas mentioned. The same chapter. Earlier
yes,
also I got
Prabhuji.
that same. I got
Yes,
that same. In the same chapter, two Varahas are mentioned.
yeah, this is in first canto, kada Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am. First canto kaadu. So I don't remember that Varaha.
Description of first canto mein
First
where
canto.
he will be describing the different incarnations.
Yes, yes.
లీలావతారాస్ గుణావతారాస్ ఆ టైంలో మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేయండి, ఈలోగా నేను తీసి ఫోటో పెట్టేస్తాను.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is the seventh one. Maybe I will take the opportunity to read. Sastascha chakshusha putra chakshuso nama vai manuhu puru purusha sudyumna pramukha chakshusatmajaha. Translation purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The son of Chakshu, known as Chakshusha, was the sixth Manu. He had many sons, headed by Puru, Purusha, and Sudyumna. So here, from Raivata Manu, now Sukadeva Goswami is talking about the Chakshusha Manu. Chakshusha Manu is the sixth Manu. Now, Chakshusha Manu, he is actually again the son of the Chakshu, who had many sons, right? Puru, Purusha, and Sudyumna. Now, why is he actually, Sukadeva Goswami is telling so detailed? He's stressing the importance of the, genealogy. How the genealogy is important from one Manu to the other. And who is actually taking the different roles. That is how he's stressing the importance of it. So we'll go to the next sloka. Sloka number 8. So anyone else want to read or shall I do it?
Shall I read too?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Indro mantra drumastatra deva apatyo gana munayastatra vairajan avismat virakadaya. During the reign of Chakshusha Manu, the king of heaven was known as Mantra Druma. Among the demigods were the Apyas, and among the great sages were Havisman and Viraka.
So again, as I said earlier, Sukadeva Goswami is stressing into details very, very clearly to make Parishit Maharaj understand the genealogy is very, very important. The son of Chakshu is the Chakshusha Manu. And Chakshusha Manu, at that time, the Indra who is actually taking the position, his name is Mantradruma. Mantradruma, exactly. And he has also a set of sages, the Saptarshis. And what are the names? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. 8, right? This one. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So what are the names here? There are 7 sages. All the names are not mentioned here. Only 2 names, but I will just reveal all the names. Sumedas, Virajas, Havishmat, Uttama, Madhu, Abhiman, Sahishnunu. So Viraka is the name. Actually, I tried to check. In some Bhagavatam, it is mentioned Viraka. In some Bhagavatams where I checked in internet, this is not mentioned. But since we follow the Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam, so Viraka is one of the sages also here. Now we try to understand what happened during the arena of Chakshusha Manu. Okay. So the next one, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 5, Shloka 9. Tatrapi deva sambhutyam vairajyasaya Vairajasya bhavat sutah ajito nama bhagavan amsena jagatah patihi. In the sixth Manvantara millennium, Lord Vishnu, the master of the universe, appeared in his partial expansion. He was begotten by Vairaja and in the womb of his wife Deva Sambhuti, and his name was Ajita. So who is Ajita? Ajita means what? Ajita means the person who cannot be conquered. So Lord Vishnu, during the reign of Chakshushamanu, he is born as Ajita. Now let us recollect how was he born actually during the Raivata Manu time? He was born as Swayam Vaikuntha himself, right? Yeah. Now he was born to whom? He was born to Vairaja and Deva Sambhuti. Why he was actually born? To fulfill a divine purpose in the cosmic governance. He has always a role and always a purpose for him to be born to these parents Vairaja and Deva Sambhuti, right? The Lord appears in various forms, sometimes in full incarnation, Purna Avatar, and sometimes as a partial expansion. So partial expansion is also called Amsa Avatara. So these manifestations serve specific purposes. So every manifestation is a specific purpose. Now let's try to understand what is a partial expansion. What does it mean by partial expansion? Anyone knows what is a partial expansion?
If I'm not wrong, it is the Satyavasha Avatara. Also partial.
So where all the divine qualities are exhibited, not in full, but only some of the certain aspects of the divine qualities are only exhibited. Those forms are called as the partial expansions. So it is mentioned in the scriptures, these Vishnu Tattva forms like Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu, also they are called as plenary, they are called as, partial expansions, it seems. And to maintain the Lord's divine nature, but may not exhibit all original attributes as actual Krishna does. So that is the differentiation between a plenary expansion and partial expansion. Now, what did Ajita do? So what has Ajita to do with the universal affairs? So Ajita, being a master of the universe, Lord Ajita, what did he do? He played a crucial role again to maintain the cosmic balance. So what was that cosmic imbalance created? That we will see in the next sloka. Eight 8.5.10. Anyone else other than Deepa Mataji and Santosh Acharya Prabhu? Anyone else who can actually support here to read that sloka?
I will read Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, Varaha Devti Koda, it is in 3rd canto, 13th chapter, Prabhuji. As per time.
Third canto. Yeah, yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. We'll look into it. So once we finish the slokas, then we will open that one, Mataji.
पायोदिम्येन निर्मात्या सुरनां साधिता सुधा भ्रममानो एम्बसि धृता कूर्मरूपेण मन्दरः.
Yeah, Kurma Rupena Mandara. Yes, Madhu, please continue.
By churning the ocean of milk, Ajita produced nectar for the demigods in the form of a tortoise. He moved here and there, carrying on his back the great mountain known as Mandara.
A very, very famous story that what we were told during our childhood. No? So here this verse is describing the divine act of churning the Kshirodaksha ocean to obtain Amrita. So when I first, read about this story, I felt, yes, Vishnu is biased here because he is biased towards the Devatas. He wants to give Amrita only to Devatas. Somehow that was how, during the childhood we understand. But now once we enter the spirituality, we try to understand why he want to give only to Devatas. Why not to the Asuras? So Lord Ajita, a form of a Vishnu, here he played a crucial role in this event, right? So that the demigods only get this nectar. And not only that, actually he has turned himself as a tortoise, Kurma avatar. He take the role of a Kurma avatar. And what did he do? Because the Mandar Parvat at the time of Chani, what was happening? It is getting actually sinked into the bottom of the ocean. To support it, we need someone, or they need someone who can actually take that heavy weight. There was no one else. So at that time, he took the Kurma avatar because the shell of the tortoise is so hard. When the total Mandar Parvat was put on the shell, and tortoise was Kurma avatar was able to take the complete weight of the churning. And the churning of the ocean, we have to understand the churning of the ocean was not possible only by the devatas. Of course, it could be done by only by devatas, and the nectar could be taken by them, right? So here there is a very important point that we have to understand, that always in our life there is a always a struggle between the good and the bad. We have to make sure that we being good, we have to take care also the bad things that are happening, and we have to go around with them. We cannot sometimes avoid being bad also. So we have to make sure that we balance them, and only when we try to take care of the good and the bad, then we will be successful. That is what actually also a message that is given here by the churning of this ocean, Sagara Madanam. Na? So the nectar produced was meant to grant immortality, but the Lord ensured it was ultimately given only to the demigods. So why it is actually trying to given only to the demigods, we will see in the next sloka. Okay, these are two slokas I will try to read. 8.5.11 to 12. Sri Rajovacha Yatha Bhagavata Brahman Matitaha Kshira Sagaraha Yad Artham Va Yataschadrim Dadarambu, oh, very big word. Dadarambu Charatmana Yatamritam Sura Praptim Kim Chanyadabhavatataha Yetad Bhagavata Karma Vadasva Paramputam. So Sri Raja Vacha, who is the Raja here? King Parikshit. And what did he inquire? King Parikshit inquired, O great Brahmana, Sukadeva Goswami, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn the ocean of the milk? Now the question is coming. Why? He is curious. Sukadeva Goswami is explaining what is already the pastime of the Lord. But he did not explain why they are doing it. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking, why is Lord Vishnu, making everyone to churn the ocean of milk? For what reason did he stay in the water as a tortoise and hold up Mandara mountain? How did the demigods obtain the nectar? And what are the other things were produced from the churning of the ocean? Kindly describe all these wonderful activities of the Lord. So we can clearly see the curiosity of Parikshit Maharaj, like a small child. If you tell, a small story, if you just start and leave it, how the kid will actually come back to you and say, no, 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 I want to hear. Tell mama, tell nana, tell the story, please complete it. Like that, that is the curiosity. In fact, like a child, we should all express. Shastra says that we should express the curiosity to learn more about the pastimes of the Lord. The more we learn, the more blissful we are, right? So here King Parikshit Maharaj is eager to understand the Lord's divine activities. So he is asking Sukadeva Goswami about the churning of the ocean. He seeks so much details. Why is Lord Vishnu assumed the form of the tortoise? Now, Mandar Parvat can be actually churned directly. So why he has assumed the form of the tortoise? And how the nectar came and how is it actually managed? Actually, we see both Devatas and Asuras, they both have put equal effort to churn the ocean. But why Lord managed only to give to Devatas? Right? So King Parikshit Maharaj also is asking about other divine substances that are emerged from the ocean. So when he's asking the details, he's also asking what are the other things that were produced? What are the other things that were produced? Lakshmi Devi has come, Airavata has come, Kaustubha Jewel has come, and so many things, right? And that the poison has also come. We all know the story. When the poison has come, who has come? Lord Shiva has come, he has put it in the throat, right? So like that, so many items come. Now Parikshit Maharaj is asking so many details. I want to know. Don't stop here. Please continue to tell me what happened and why it happened, how it happened. Right? Typical corporate terminology. Why, what, how. We'll go to the next sloka. Yeah, here before I go to the next sloka, so what I did, Professor Mataji, I made actually a short summary of the few slides which actually explain, during each Manvantara what has happened. Significant facts. So during the Swayambhu Manu Manvantara, so the creation of Swayambhu Manu, of course, the Swayambhu Manu has come, and Satarupa. Satarupa. So who is Satarupa? He is the one actually created by the Lord Brahma, right? And the Varaha avatar of Lord Vishnu happened during the Swayambhu Manvantara, who lifted earth from the cosmic ocean. And also we should understand the birth of Kapila Muni also happened during this reign, who taught the philosophy of Sankhya Yoga, right? So this is what happened during the first Manvantara. Now what happened during the second Manu time? Second Manu's time, his name is Swarochisa Manu. And during his rule, the Vibhu avatar of Lord Vishnu happened, and who guided thousands of sages in spiritual practices. So of course we have the Saptarshis, but in addition to that, because this is still in the starting phases of the Manus, so what Lord Vishnu has done, he himself came as a Vibhu avatar and he started spreading the spiritual practices through all the sages. And it is also the time the rise of Rochana. The Indra's name is the Rochana, the Indra of this Manvantara, right? So this is during the second Manu. Now what happened during the third Manu? The Satyasena avatar of Lord Vishnu, who defeated the Asuras. So already from the third Manu, the struggle between the Asuras and the Devatas has already started. So at that time the Lord has come in the form of Satyasena. And Indra of this Manu is called as Satyajit. So fourth Manu time, Tamasa Manu, right? We all know what happened. So Lord Vishnu has taken the form of Hari avatar and he saved the Devatas from the Asuras. You see here, so this struggle between the Asuras and Devatas is not, happening just a few million years. This is happening since, I don't know, almost eternal. From the second Manu, third Manu itself. And Gajendra Moksham also happened during the Tamasa Manvantara, right? So what happened also in the fifth, sixth Manvantaras? Fifth Manvantara, Raivata Manvantara, which we have seen just a few minutes before. And we understand the Vaikuntha avatar of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu, he has come in the form of Vaikuntha, who established Vaikuntha itself. The reign of Ribhu, the Indra of this era is called Ribhu. And we just started with Chakshusha Manu. And Chakshusha Manu time, what happened? We just now read that it is the Ajita avatar of the Lord Vishnu who churned the ocean to obtain Amrita. And the Kurma avatar also helped the churning of the ocean. We have seen the both. And the Indra of this Manvantara is called as Mantra Druma. Right? Up to now we have seen it. But what we have not seen and what not mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, I just added here. The seventh Manu, where we are currently in this period. And this Manu's name is Vaivaswata Manu. Right? And what happened during this Manvantara is the Vaman avatar of Lord Vishnu. And who is Vaman avatar? He is the person who subdued King Bali. And the Indra of this time is called as the current Indra, in fact. What is his name? Purandara. I just made this summary because, many times it's very unclear that, especially for me, I used to have a confusion. Who is the first Manu? Which Manu we are in currently? Right? There are a lot of questions. And especially to understand what happened during each Manu time, I just created these two slides. And I also added one more slide, how Vishnu appeared in different forms, specifically focusing on Vishnu's appearance in each Manvantara. So during the Swayambhu Manvantara, Vishnu appeared as a Yajna, the son of Akuti and Ruchi, and and became Indra. And he himself became Indra also during the first Manu time. And the second Manu time, Swarochisa Manvantara, Vishnu appeared as Vibhu, and he taught spiritual wisdom. We have seen, right? He was actually teaching the spiritual wisdom to all the sages. During the third Manvantara, Uttama Manvantara, Vishnu appeared as Satyasena to defeat the Asuras. The fourth Manvantara, Tamasa Manvantara, Vishnu appeared as Hari. And here also there was a struggle against Asuras. So, and here he came again to save the Devatas. So, Raivata Manvantara. Raivata Manvantara, Vishnu came as Vaikuntha. We have seen this. So, we understand that Vaikuntha and Vishnu are non-different. And he has done this to establish the divine principles, where all the devotees, sincere, ardent followers of Vishnu, they can actually get into this planet to get into the service of Lord Vishnu. And Chakshusha Manvantara, Vishnu appeared as Ajita. We just have seen it. And the last Vaivaswata Manvantara, Vishnu appeared as Vamana, right? The dwarf. So we will go to the next slide, 13, Sloka. Someone can help me, please?
I can do, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
त्वया सङ्कथ्यमानेन महिम्ना सात्वतां पते नातृप्यति मे चित्तं सुचिरं तापतापितम्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My heart, which is distributed by the three miserable conditions of material life, is not yet stated. With hearing you describe the glorious activities of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. My heart, which is disturbed by the three miserable conditions. Who is telling this? Parshit Maharaj. He is telling my heart, which is disturbed by three miserable conditions of material life, is not yet sated. Sated means satisfied in English. Huh? So because I'm conditioned in material life, I'm still not satisfied, whatever so far you are telling. Is not sated with hearing you describe the glorious activities of the Lord. The Supreme Person of Godhead, who is the master of the devotees. Brothers and Matajis, we all should understand, if devatas who are actually elevated beings, they themselves struggle against demons, who are we actually, conditioned by these three modes of material nature? How much actually we can fight against the evil forces that are surrounding us? It is so difficult. That is the only reason Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told, for this Kali Yuga, it is very, very simple. What he said? Chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He didn't say that, you have to do that puja, this yajna. He didn't say all of these things because he understands we are all conditions, and in Kali Yuga especially, it is very, very, very difficult. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam Kalo Nastheva 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 Gatiranyata. He made it so simple for us. Just chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything, but just listen to that mantra while you are chanting. That is sufficient. If we continue to do throughout our life that mantra, that is sufficient for us or Krishna to take us back to Goloka. Right? Now here, Parshit Maharaj is also struggling. He's telling that, see, I'm hearing Lord pastimes from you, but still I'm not so satisfied. In fact, it's a good sign that, he wants to hear more and more about Lord's transcendental qualities. Right? So what are the typical miserable conditions of material life? What we have? We are always surrounded by Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adidavika, right? So we cannot focus. It's very, very difficult. But what are these three modes conditions? Actually, these are the Trishul of the Durga Devi, who is reminding us constantly that this is not the place where we have to be. She's reminding, she's poking from behind with the different types of miseries. She's telling, this is not the place where you have to be. You have to go back to Goloka. So if suppose these miserable conditions are not there, what will happen? We will get comfortable here and we will not think of Lord. That is why Durga Ma or Maya, she is constantly reminding us. And today morning I got up, I see in the news that in Andhra Pradesh again some few cases of corona are, again has started. Few people already died. Almost 70 people are infected now in Andhra state itself. Then it constantly reminds me that the moment we try to settle in this world, yes, now everything is okay, immediately Durga Ma, she comes and she pokes us with these different miseries. She reminds that this is not the place for us to settle down. Right? Yeah, not many slides. We have very few slides we will complete. So 14 sloka, I myself will read. Sri Sutta Uvacha Samprasto Bhagavan evam Vaipayana Suto Dvijaha Abhinandya Harer Viryam Abhyachastum Prachakrame. Sri Sutta Goswami said, O learned Brahmanas assembled here at Naimisharanya, when Sukadev Goswami, the son of Dvaipayana, was thus questioned by the king, he congratulated the king and then endeavored to describe further the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here if you suddenly see, if you see, suddenly there is an entry of another Goswami called Sri Sutta Goswami. So who is Sutta Goswami? Of course, I am very sure everyone knows here. So
The sages of Naimisharanya.
sorry, Mataji.
He's heading the sages of Naimisharanya.
Yeah. So he is actually repeating the same story what Sukadev Goswami told Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and Sutta Goswami is just repeating the same in the Naimisharanya to the several sages there. Na? So who is actually Sutta
Yeah,
Goswami?
sorry. Shaunaka was heading and Sutta was the one who is speaking. So Shaunaka is actually
Yeah.
asking Sutta Goswami.
So Sutta Goswami is in fact the disciple of Swayam Vyasa Muni himself. But he heard Bhagavatam not from Vyasa Muni, but he heard it from Sukadeva Goswami, and he is repeating the same. Right? So who is the Vyasa? What is the actual name? Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, right? And later on he is named only as a Vyasa Muni, right? Okay, so Sutta Goswami received his Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami and passed on it to future generations. So this is the perfect Guru Sishya Parampara. So he is teaching further to the other sages, his Sishyas. So that is how the spiritual lineage continued. Now, so this verse actually is highlighting one very important aspect for all of us. It is highlighting the importance of Shravanam. Again, Shravanam. Because you see here, Parishad Maharaj is expressing his curiosity to learn and to hear more and more in the previous shloka. And here, Sutta Goswami is explaining to his, Sishyas, all the other sages who is sitting there in the Naimisharanya, he is explaining again. So both the verses, they are highlighting the importance of Shravanam. So Shravanam is so important when we want to elevate ourselves spiritually. So it is also mentioned that, just like how the food is nourishing the body, right? Without food, we cannot live. After the 10 days, we will die. So just like how food is important to the body, for the soul, what is important? To hear the pastimes of the Lord. So just like how we focus to get good food, we also try to listen to the transcendental stories of the Lord, right? Otherwise, soul will not stay with the body. As long as the soul gets very difficult the moment you are into the maya, the soul struggles but the body enjoys, right? But when we are hearing probably in the spiritual part, what will happen, the body struggles initially, but then later on slowly the body also understand, yes, I'm the shelter for this Paramatma. So the body will act as a temple. No? We'll go to the next sloka. Yeah, we are almost in the last but one slokas, 15 to 16. I will continue. Shri Sukha Uvacha Yada Yuddhe Survairdeva Bhajyamanaha Titayudaha Gatasvo Nipatita Nautistaransma Bhurishaha Yada Durvasaha Sapena Sendra Lokastrayo Nrupa Nishrikas Chabhavam Tatra Neshur Ijyajah Kriyaha. So Sukadev Goswami said, when the Asuras with their serpent weapons severely attacked the demigods in a fight, many of the demigods fell and lost their lives. Indeed, they could not be revived. At that time, O king, the demigods have been cursed by Durvasa Muni. The three worlds were poverty stricken, and therefore ritualistic ceremonies could not be performed. The effects of this were very serious. So, Professor Mataji, now the suspense is revealed. Huh? So far, Sukadev Goswami was not telling the story why all this struggle is happening, why this churning of the ocean is happening, why Vishnu has to take the Korma avatar, why God was biased towards the Devatas. So this he did not explain. Now the suspense is revealed. He said, Asuras have come with their serpent weapons and severely attacked the demigods in a fight. They both had a fight. And the Asuras were so powerful that demigods fell and lost their lives. Indeed, they could not be even revived. That means, in fact, they are dead. At that time, the king of demigods, who is the king of demigods? Indra, right? So he was cursed by Durvasa Muni. So there was a story why all this happened. So I will tell you the story. So what happened once, I think yesterday Lilananda Prabhu also told this story. So the Indra, sorry, what happened once, the Indra, he was going on his Airavata, like that. And then what happened? Durvasa Muni, he was actually coming in the same path. So Durvasa Muni, seeing the Indra with with a good respect, what did he do? He took his garland from his head and he has actually given to Indra. But what did Indra do? He did not wear it, but what did he do? He has given to this elephant, Airavata. But Airavatam, though it is in the spiritual world, it is an elephant, right? So obviously he did not understand the value of it. So what did he do? It trampled the garland. And what happened? Because it trampled, it is a disrespect to the Muni, right? Obviously. So for example, if some Maharaj comes and he gives the garland to us, what we do? We take the garland, we put to our eyes, and we will wear it or we will put it again in our altar. But if someone throws it down in front of the Maharaj and tramples it, what did Maharaj, how do Maharaj feel? Obviously, we'll get angry, right? The same thing happened to Durvasa Muni. Then at that point of time, what did Durvasa Muni do? He actually cursed Indra. What did he curse? He cursed Indra that, you know, he cursed Indra that in all the three worlds they will be poverty stricken and there will be no ritualistic ceremonies, nothing. And all the demigods will become so weak that they will be overpowered by the asuras. He cursed them. But this is a very powerful curse. And what it has resulted into? No ritualistic ceremonies, means no Vedic education happening. Nothing is happening. And asuras, like, if you all remember the Hiranyakashipu's time, what was happening? He announced everyone that there is no Harinam Japa anymore. Everyone has to do Japa of my name. Om Hiranyakashipaya Namaha. He did it like that. The same thing now is happening. So this is a big problem in the cosmos, right? So what did happen? Then Vishnu has to enter. So that is when Vishnu has come as Ajita and he took the Kurma avatar and he supported for the churning of the ocean. Now Sukadeva Goswami slowly revealed the secret. Then Parikshit Maharaj is actually a little bit relieved, right? And the last shloka, with this we complete. 17 to 18 shlokas. Probably I will only continue. निशाम्यैतात् सुरागणा महेन्द्रवरुणादयः नाज्यगच्छन् स्वयं मन्त्रयन्तो विनिश्चितं ततो ब्रह्मा सभां जग्मुर्मेरोर्मूर्धनि सर्वसः सर्वं विज्ञापयं चक्रुः प्राणतः परमेस्तिने. Lord Indra, Varuna and other demigods, seeing their lives in such a state, consulted among themselves, but they could not find any solution. Then all the demigods assembled and went together to the peak of the Sumeru mountain. There, in the assembly of the Lord Brahma, they fell down to offer Lord Brahma their obeisances, and then they informed him of all the incidents that had taken place. So, Professor Matajis, now we see that, after the curse from Durvasa Muni, in fact, everyone, they started looking at each other. They became so weak. Lord Indra, Varuna, and other all demigods, they're seeing their lives in such a pathetic state. No one is respecting them. No one is actually, praying for them. No offerings are happening. Nothing is happening. No Vedic education. No, nothing is happening. They felt very bad. So what did they all do? They all gathered, assembled at which place? Sumeru mountain. Who sits there? It is the Lord Brahma who is sitting there. And then, why they did not go directly to Vishnu? They could have gone directly to Vishnu, right? Because Vishnu is more powerful. Vishnu is the main creator. But why did they go to Brahma? Anyone, please?
I didn't get you.
No, why did they go to Lord Brahma to seek help, but not directly to Lord Vishnu?
Because all the devatas know that they cannot directly access Vishnu without the Guru. So
Yes.
Guru only we can access.
Very nicely said, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Actually, it is very, very difficult. Even though these people are like, devatas are residing in Devata planet, Swargam, we call, it is very, very difficult. It's very difficult to get the access to Lord Vishnu directly. Even for Lord Brahma, as just Deepa Mataji explained, he also cannot go as and when he wishes directly to Vishnu. So Vishnu is very, very difficult to access. So only thing is they all understand that they have to go to their Pita Brahmara. So they go to Lord Brahma, and who is actually the caretaker and who is actually the Guru who taught all of the Devatas actually Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everything. Na? So he is the one who actually can access to Lord Vishnu. So they all went, all the demigods went, they offered their obeisances, they fell down at their feet, and then they seek the help. What should we do? The total cosmos is getting imbalanced now. Okay? They seek for help. And Lord Brahma knows, we all know the later part of the story. What happened to the later part of the story? That Brahma gets actually an instruction telling that, tell them not to worry, I am going to come and we are going to sort out this issue to the churning of the ocean, where after from that ocean we will get actually that Amrut, and once the Devatas drink that Amrut, they will get more power compared to the Asuras. So that is how he made Devatas more powerful than Asuras. So now we all understand Professor Mataji's. I just conclude. So whenever there is imbalance, automatically Krishna comes and he will take care of us, provided we are following our spiritual activities with sincerity. Even in our lives, personal lives also, many times it will happen that we might be faced with lot of challenges. It can be simple challenge also. Suddenly, if you are going with your boss in a very, very important meeting, very important, very high level meeting, it happened once with me. My global CTO was here in India, I think just a few months before. So he has taken me to a very hi-fi restaurant. I could not say no because he is my boss. And along with my global CTO, the CFO was also there. And then obviously he was not knowing me. I joined in my company just few months before. He was meeting me for the second time actually, but he don't know what are my food habits. So he made me sit and he asked me to order. I ordered something and he noticed that I'm ordering only some type of pasta, and especially I was instructing that waiter that okay, no onion, no garlic, and waiter was always telling no, this is not possible, that is not possible. And then, I felt little uncomfortable initially, but then my global CTO, he, what happened, I could not really believe. He told very clearly to me, see, I respect your food thing. Please don't hesitate to order whatever you want. And he also requested permission from me that if he is allowed to eat non-veg, in fact, I felt that I should ask permission to order whatever I want. But in fact, it happened the opposite, that he took the permission from me to order non-veg food. This is how Krishna takes care. Huh? So I was thinking all the while when I was traveling, I was taking him in my car to the restaurant. What he will feel if I put all these conditions. I was thinking, but Krishna has made that situation so sukoon that he made the life so comfortable for me. In fact, it happened that he only requested permission from me to eat non-veg food. This is a very simple and silly thing, but when it comes to a situation of like establishing the dharma getting destabilized, Krishna will definitely come. So these are all the instances we should understand that Krishna is there always to take care of us. So if provided we follow the Srila Prabhupada's instruction, we just follow what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed us to chant Hare Krishna Mantra. We continue the same path, we will be taken care automatically. So with this I finish, Professor Mataji. Any questions you have? Anyone? Otherwise we are done. Okay, if no questions, then we'll conclude here. Professor Mataji, once again, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. This actually there is not much philosophy. I try to do my best, but if anything is not clear, please excuse me. Especially Deepa Mataji, Aditya Santosh Prabhu, if I have done any mistakes in this session while talking, please excuse me. Please correct me if I'm doing anything wrong.
Prabhuji, please don't
No,
say
no,
such
no.
thing. It
No
is like an insult only. It is like an insult if we say something like that. But
Sorry, Mataji.
please
Was a
don't
wonderful
say
session.
that. Please don't think that If there is something extra that we know beyond what you are doing, services will speak for itself. So please don't consider it that way. Maadi only book. Naadete bookish knowledge. Inkem ledu.
Ante
Yeah.
Mataji, I mean, it's all, we all are learning, and when I come to take these sessions, I come actually to seek, knowledge and wisdom from all of you, from everyone, in fact. I mean,
Yeah.
always considered, these sessions are more like a discussion forum where we can discuss, any
Exactly,
of our doubts. That is how we do the sessions. Thank you, Prabhuji and
Okay.
Mataji. Tanda Pranam. We close the session.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Have a wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.